this is problem 1 from 2009, Form B. So a baker is baking a birthday cake. The base of the cake is the region R, which is in the first quadrant under the graph y equals f of x from 0 to 30. F of x is 20 sine of pi x over 30, and x and y are both measured in centimeters. The derivative of f is f prime of x, which is 2 pi over 3 cosine of pi x over 30. So, for question A, the region R is cut out of a 30 centimeter by 20 centimeter rectangle sheet of cardboard. The remaining cardboard was discarded. Find the area of the discarded cardboard. So, the rectangle was 20 by 30, and we want to find the area of these discarded pieces. So, to do that, you can find the area of just the rectangle, which would just be length times width, so it's just 30 times 20, and then subtract the area of R. And to find the area of R, you have to do the area under the curve. So it's the integral from 0 to 30 of f of x dx, because it's the upper curve minus the lower, and the lower is just 0 because it's the x-axis. So then, since this is question 1, you can just plug it into your calculator. Do 30 times 20 minus the integral from 0 to 30, and I already plugged it into y1, so then you can just plug in the function of y1 and integrate, and it gives you 218.028. And the units for this is centimeters squared, because it tells you x and y are both measured in centimeters, and since you're finding the area, it's squared.
This is part B of the 2009 Form B question 1. The cake is a solid with base R. Cross sections of the cake are perpendicular to the x-axis are semicircles. If the baker uses 0.5 gram of unsweetened chocolate for each cubic centimeter of cake, how many grams of unsweetened chocolate will there be in the cake? So for this problem, they're asking you to take the volume of the cake, and once you find the volume, they're going to ask you to multiply by how many grams per cubic centimeter of the cake you get. And so you're going to start with your volume equation, which equals 1/2 pi r squared. So now that you know your volume equation, you're gonna take it for the curve. So you're gonna use f of x is your diameter. So this is your diameter. So when you plug it into your integral from 0 to 30, it's gonna be 1/2 pi, and then f of x over 2, because f of x is a diameter, squared. So then you'll plug it into your calculator, and I already have it in y equals, and so then you go to take the integral from 0 to 30 of pi over 2 and that is going to equal 2,356.194 centimeters cubed. And it's centimeters cubed because it's volume, and they also tell you that you're going to end up with cubic centimeters. So then because they're still asking for how much of unsweetened chocolate will be in the cake, you have to take your total volume and multiply it times 0.05, because that's how much she uses per each cubic centimeter. So then it will be 23. You plug this in your calculator, 23. And you get 117.810 grams.
This is part C of the 2009 Form B exam. So the question said to find the perimeter of the base of the cake. And as we know, perimeter is just all the sides added together. So the length of the first side is just the x-axis. So it just goes from 0 to 30. So the length's just 30. Then to find the length of the curve, you have to use the arc length formula. And we know arc length is the integral from a to b of the square root of 1 plus f prime of x squared dx. So to find the length of that, we just use the integral from a to b, which would be from 0 to 30, of the square root of 1 plus f prime x squared dx. So they gave us the derivative already on the problem in the beginning. So if you just take it, plug it into your y equals, it's 2 pi divided by 3 cosine of pi x divided by 30. Then you can just plug this whole thing, 30 plus the integral from 0 to 30 of the square root of 1 plus the derivative, which I put in y2, squared dx. And you get 81.803. And in the beginning, it also told you that both x and y are in centimeters. So when you add it, you still just have centimeters. So it's 81.803 centimeters.